All right, so here's going to be the overview of the gantry. Basically, got a linear bearing here. That's what gives you the support so this guy doesn't move. This guy, the screw over here, this is an Acme screw. He's going to be your control to make it go up and down. Right here is an anti-backlash nut. So it's a nut that makes it almost like a ball screw. That way this guy has no backlash on him. He won't go forward or back. Real precision movements. Then we got these two collars on here. These two screw collars hold this from going back and forth as well. If I loosen this collar, it will actually, you can't actually move this if I loosen both these. It kind of puts the screw in position with the motor. And I think where you guys are hitting on is it's actually coming down and hitting the frame because there's not much clearance there. So we will probably redesign these eventually to get rid of that. But for now, how that does happen or how to fix that with that clearance being so low is just take a Allen wrench here, metric Allen wrench. Go ahead and put it in. I think it's an M8 bolt. So I think it's a M6 Allen wrench. Go ahead and just turn it counterclockwise. And this is the side that the motor's on where I think yours is. Otherwise, you got to do both. And if I just loosen it, you can see I could kind of give it some gap. And so what I'll do is spin this guy until he kind of can clear it. Or you could just kind of put it in right there. And then just kind of tweak this guy up with your thumb. Not much, just enough so it clears it. And then go ahead and torque him down. So I'll just kind of... But whenever I build these, I just kind of give it a little pressure on the backside here and tighten them down. Kind of hard to show in the video. And then just give it a little snug guy there. And then you can see I got a lot more clearance now, and he spins freely. Now the other thing, so it can jam up right there. This nut, I've never actually seen one jam, or break. But you can kind of look right on this corner and see if there is a crack. But I've never actually seen one of those nuts break in quite a few years. But there is a first for everything, so definitely check here, especially right there. See if there's a crack or something. And then the next thing that happens is if these guys roll down, let me make sure I'm going the right way. I'm not going the right way. Let me spin him down. So I usually always just grab this collar and I'll spin. Granted, that's what's spinning on yours right now. But sometimes when these guys home, it's happened on the matrix fillers a lot. They go down there and they hit and they jam up right there. So one thing that I like to do, because now since this guy isn't spinning, see if you could spin it by hand. Granted, a lot of times you can't, like even right now that it's hitting against there, it's real hard because these guys are real hard to move. So what I'll do is I'll grab some pliers. I'll just use these channel locks for now. And then you can see that the bearing isn't really gonna hit up here. And it's not gonna hit up here. It's not really gonna hit down here. So what I'm gonna do is just take this pliers up towards the top and just kind of move it. And you can watch this collar. Make sure that collar is kind of moving with it. I'm just going to kind of, oops, I'm going the wrong way. So I actually want to go counterclockwise. So counterclockwise is probably the way you're going to want to go. And just make sure that guy is off of the limit switch. And once it's off the limit switch, the other thing you could do is kind of bring it more in the center. And then you should be able to move it by hand. Now, the other thing that's weird is that just this side is spinning. I want to make sure that you tightened this guy the right way. So first thing you want to do is I'm going to actually loosen mine. Hold on. So I have this one here. I'm going to loosen this big one. This big one takes that 2.5 millimeter. Alrighty. And then this guy here, this guy's the most important one. He takes the 2. He is the set screw. Okay. So when you're putting him back together, go ahead and tighten the set screw one first. This is the smaller one, the 2.0. You guys want to make sure he's tight. Okay, and then once he's tight, go ahead and spin it, and it should actually start spinning now, because that set screw is kind of what holds it. You always do the set screws first on these collars, and then now do the one that's a 2, or I'm sorry, this one's the 2.5. The other one was the 2. Live videos, gotta love them. All right, so let me redo that one more time here. All right, so the smaller ones are 2 millimeter. Go ahead and tighten them. Make sure your other one's tight while you're at it. All right, both them are tight. Then go ahead and tighten this guy. And then you should be able to move it. Now, if for some reason it's still not moving, something else might be going on. The other thing we could check is the collars themselves. And to do that, what I would normally do is, again, loosen this guy up. So on this collar, loosen this guy. This thing's 100% rebuildable. Every part on here you can get. That's why we build them like this. I've just had Thompson shafts and expensive gantries that have lasted, 2 months, and it's $1,000 gantry. So we've kind of designed this one, and we like it a lot. But anyway, next what I want to do is take a 2.5, loosen up that collar. These set screws on these collars here, these black collars. All right, so now both these are loose. You can see they're way out. Let me get this guy way out. There's also going to be a bearing on the ends of them, or a shim, precision shim. And then the bearings are actually inside there. But now what I'm going to do is try to move this guy, if he'll let me. Yeah. So he's tight in those bearings, but I want to make sure that, he moves and that this bearing isn't seized, which that bearing looks good. So that's good to go. Again, these screws barely fit in these bearings. They're a super precise fit. So sometimes they do get stuck. You could see this one popped out, which is fine. Everything's rebuildable. But actually, while we're on the subject, it always goes bearing. There's a little screw, a little precision washer, and then this collar. All right, so what I'm gonna do, throw this guy back up. Okay, and then make sure my bearing's in that one, which it is. My precision washer fell out. Okay, there's 2 sides. The flat side, I usually always put towards the bearing. Throw him back on. And then tighten them up. Another thing you could do is loosen up these using that M6 or 6 Allen wrench. Go ahead and just loosen these guys up. I usually always have them loose while I reposition these this way. Everything kind of finds itself real nice. Yeah, and then I'll tighten up this screw. That's what's going to give this guy the straightness. So then what you want to do is just kind of push. I'll usually push on this black collar all the way to the bearing. Good. Now I want to push on this guy. What we'll do now is just tighten up this guy first, because I don't want too much slack. So I tightened up that one. Now I'm going to tighten up this guy just a little bit, just so he's kind of snug. Okay, next thing I want to do is push on this with my hand. You don't have to do this, but it kind of helps get rid of slack. And then I'm pushing on this black thing towards the bearing. So pushing on this plate that way towards the motor with my hand. And then I'm pushing the bearing or the black collar this way away from the motor just to get rid of any slop. Now everything should be good. Then I'll check that I clear, and I don't clear. Shucks. And that might be what yours is doing too. And I am not clearing, let's see. I'm not clearing on this one. This is usually the problem child. But he's not very tight right now, so I'm just going to kind of loosen him. Bring him up just a smidge. Tighten them back down. Check it. I gotta go a little more. Marvelous. Okay, so now he's pretty good. I'm gonna loosen him just a hair. You could also kind of tell if you put it on the table how much it is. I don't like it too high. It's kind of fine-tuning it. There we go. That's good. Because the higher you go, the more the screw is going to be misaligned. And then it is harder to turn as well. So now it's turning a little bit more freely too. Now I'm kind of doing what yours is doing. You know, this guy's spinning, but the screw isn't. So again, I'm going to take the 2 now. So now everything's moving real nice. And take this 2, tighten the set screw. I'll just make sure my other one's tight. I don't know. So what I do, take my 2.5, and you can see I tighten the set screw, so I am starting to move. Tighten him. Good to go. All right, the only other issue that ever happens on these guys, oops, I gotta tighten this side all the way up. He's still clearing, that's good, so I'm gonna tighten him the rest of the way. We tried making these as low profile as we can, so those screws are kind of messing with us. One other thing we decided is maybe keep the plates and get these set screws, these little screws a little smaller, because there has been some other customers with that they jam up on. That way everything could be more nice straight line too. So we might actually do that. But you can see in here, that one's clearing. That one's clearing. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. But anyway, the last thing that could actually happen is the limit switches sometimes get stuck. And it won't home this little red button in here. When you click it, it should click. It should click that button. Sometimes stuff gets gummed up in here and this gets stuck on. And it never pops back out because it's kind of spring-loaded. So people will have to clean those with ethanol. It's a known thing. We've had that. We've been using this guy for like 5-6 years. If it does actually fail, which they do fail over time, it's a real inexpensive part. Just swap it out real quick. There's 2 leads that you just kind of, you could either use any wire connection or solder them together, and it's just a common, so it's just running low voltage through it anyway. So it's real safe and easy to just replace it. If you got any other questions, though, let me know. That's how you basically rebuild this whole thing and make sure everything's working. Thank you.